just when I thought the Pimax Crystal couldn't get any better, well, it just has. So join me after a quick word from our sponsor and I'll explain everything. You're going to want to hear this, guys.
VRFSG offer the widest selection of custom-made prescription lens inserts that I've ever come across, and whether you are nearsighted or farsighted, they cater for all the major VR headsets, all the way from a Quest 2 to a Vario Aero, and even the huge lenses of the Pimax 8KX. However, if you don't wear glasses, that's also fine, because to be honest, it's essential to make sure that you keep your lenses and your eyes happy. VRFSG lens inserts offer 5 different coatings, including anti-glare and blue light filters, which actually help combat motion sickness and insomnia. Right now I have a 5% discount code which can be used across their entire product range, so go grab it now while it's still available.
Right then, so welcome back to the channel. We're currently flying off the south coast of the UK in the Coronado Ovation, an aircraft that I wouldn't recommend buying. But anyway, we're not here for that. So, as you know, unless you're new on the channel, I have been testing out the prototype version of the Pimax Crystal for a good month now. I've probably got about 9 or 10 videos on the channel as well. And there's a few things that I love, well, many things I love, but there's a few things I don't like as well. Well, I'm glad to say that right now I'm using a different unit. This is the full release version, the final production unit of the Pimax Crystal, the one that you're going to receive if you pre-ordered it. And I was not expecting any difference, to be honest, because the one I had was very close to final. It turns out though, there's a number of key differences, in fact 2, maybe 3, that in my opinion they're big deals. The first one being, I'll put a shot of them both together, but you probably can't tell just by looking at them on the screen, is the final version has a deeper sort of finish. It's like a jet black colour rather than a bland looking kind of faded black, if that makes sense. So it feels more desirable. But the more important factor here is that the plastics also feel a bit better. Not a huge amount, but I'd say right now this headset is up there with the likes of the Reverb G2 in terms of build quality, which is great. So Pimax, if you are watching this, thank you for listening to the feedback, and I do feel at this point that this headset is acceptable in terms of its build quality, definitely. It's not up there with the Vario Aero, but it is a cheaper headset, so keep that in mind. Now let's get to the bit that really excites me about this final production unit. That is the display. As you know, I'm already impressed with the Crystal, big time, but it suffers with Mura, or at least my pre-production unit did. Well, I'm glad to say that the final version, it's a massive difference. I mean, really looking out at that blue sky, and that's a great way of looking for Mura, I can hardly see any. It is there still, but it's so slight that it's not even worth talking about. Compare that to my pre-production unit, it's a huge difference, guys, seriously. And if you're not sure what Mura is, well, basically it's the panel, or rather pixel inconsistencies during the manufacturing process, and the persistency of those pixels vary so much that it presents as a fogging of the lenses. The PSVR 2 is quite bad at that, the Reverb G1 was really bad, and yeah, I tell you what, it's not an issue anymore. That means something else. I did say that the Vario Aero was clearer in the far distance than the Crystal. That is due to that Mura problem. But now that's been eradicated, it's the same. In terms of the far distance, it looks the same as the Vario Aero. So I'm so glad about that. And it really has made a huge difference to the display quality. Now it's funny, at the time of recording it's bank holiday and I'm planning a motorcycle trip, and when Pimax was sending me this unit, it wasn't going to be here until like the end of next week due to that bank holiday, but I did notice that FedEx had it arrive at my local station and I was so excited to try it. I wanted to get this video out as soon as possible. I went over to FedEx themselves and they agreed for me to have the headset off the back of the lorry, basically. So at this point, folks, I can absolutely 100% recommend this headset. I think it's the very best Pimax headset that's ever been produced, and so long as they can deal with the influx of customers and can meet the demand for this headset, because it's going to sell like hotcakes without a doubt, I think they've got a real winner on their hands here. They really have. It's a sensational headset. So I hope you're enjoying your bank holiday weekend, or wherever you are in the world. At the moment, as I say, I'm about to jump on my bike and go for a motorcycle tour, but I just had to get this video out first. Now, before I go, there's one more thing I want to mention, and that is with the retail version, it seems it's shipping with a fiber optic cable. I'm not sure why, but that is a more expensive option than the sort of standard cable you'd get before. It's a lot lighter as well. So Pimax are taking a hit there. The only thing about that is the battery performance. That is something I'm going to have to test. And when I get back from my travels, I'm going to do an endurance flight. See if I can fly this thing for at least 3 or 4 hours, or even more than that. And let's see if the battery can hold up. Because that's the only thing now that I don't like about this headset. The main Achilles heel of the Pimax Crystal for PC VR users that like to do this kind of thing, that is flight simulation, is it does need a battery. However, it's not a massive deal breaker because, the battery life is good enough. But you're going to have to make sure that you have one on charge at all times if you want to sort of hot swap them over. But anyway, overall, this headset from Pimax is absolutely sensational. I love it. I'm a massive fan of the Crystal, and I think the final version just looks even better than before. It looks superb. Anyway, enjoy your weekend, guys. I just had to get this out because I think this is really important information, especially those who are currently on the fence. I'm going to continue flying across the south coast of the UK. It's rather bumpy here in the HQ today, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Take care, and bye for now.